How are you all? You good? Fine. I'm so happy to see your smiling, pleasant faces on my laptop screen. For about 1.5 years, we are meeting online, isn't it? We are attending classes online. There is a tiny villain behind the situation. Who is that? Yes, it is the Corona. We are going through a pandemic situation, isn't it? Now let me ask you a question. How many of you think that it is possible to go back to our school this academic year itself? Can you raise your hands? Yeah, some of you think that. How many of you think that it is possible in the next academic year? Yeah, some others hope so. And what about the rest? Are you feeling not that hopeful at this point? Yeah, you are not feeling that hopeful, isn't it? So, it is about hope and hopelessness, isn't it? Now, I have a picture for you. Can you see this picture, children? Yes, what is it? Yes, it is a cloud, isn't it? A cloud of what color? Yes, it is black in color. And on the edges of the cloud, what do you see? There is a lining. A lining of what color? Not exactly white, it is silver. Okay, a black cloud with silver lining. Have you heard a proverb connecting this black cloud and its silver lining? Yeah? No. Every cloud has a silver lining. Very good. Do you know the meaning of this proverb? No? Shall we watch a video? Okay, let's watch a video and come back.
Every cloud has a silver lining. You should never feel hopeless because difficult times always lead to better days. This proverb means that there is a positive side to every sad or unpleasant situation. After the death of her husband, this poor woman and her children had to beg for a living. Soon, this lady found a golden swan who gave her one of his golden feathers each day. Thereafter, the lady became rich and lived happily with her children. After all bad times come the good phase of life.
Did you watch the video, kids? Yes, what does that proverb mean? Yes, we must not feel hopeless even in the desperate situations, isn't it? Yes. Now kids, we were talking about hope, hopelessness, and we watched a video. Now can you guess what is our topic of discussion today? It will be something related to? Yes, very good. It is indeed related with the theme of hope. Okay, the particular unit that we are going to discuss is, read it aloud. Yes, dawn of hope. Dawn of hope. Isn't it? And the chapter is titled, read this. Yes, the last leaf. I have drawn the picture of a last leaf here. It is a short story and it is written by O. Henry. Okay, now let me ask you how this last leaf is connected with the theme of hope. Have any idea? Yes, very good. Even after all other leaves in the tree are shed, that single leaf is a reminder. It is a hope that the tree is still capable of rejuvenation. There is still life in the tree. Now shall we move on to the story? What was the title? Yes, the last leaf, isn't it? The last leaf. Now, who was the author? Yes, O. Henry. This is O. Henry. Do you know him? Yes, he is an American short story writer. O. Henry is actually his pen name or pseudonym. His original name is William Sidney Porter. What is it? William Sidney Porter. Okay. And the peculiarity of his short stories is that almost all his stories towards the end has a twist. And that is known as the O. Henry twist. Okay. Now shall we move into the story? While I explain, listen carefully and do watch the pictures that pop up on my screen. Okay? Okay. Kids, our story is set in a village named Greenwich. Okay? It is a village in the city of New York. It is a place of artists. Many artists lived there in a bohemian way. Bohemian means in an unconventional manner. there were many old buildings and apartments in the Greenwich village. They were actually beautifying the village. Okay, and our two main characters are Sue and Johnsy. Who are they? Sue and Johnsy. Both of them were very thick friends and they were artists. Okay, they were living happily in the Greenwich village with a studio. Okay, they were running a studio there. And suddenly, do you know what happened? A villain came. Like our corona, the whole village was affected with pneumonia. Poor Johnsy caught the disease. She tested positive for pneumonia. Now we see a very happy, powerful, cheerful Johnsy turning into a hopeless Johnsy. Do you know what she did? She remained on her bed all the time, lying, and she was staring through the window. To what? To an ivy vine. Do you know what ivy vine is? Yes, it is an ivy vine. And do you know what she was doing? She was counting the leaves on the ivy vine. She believed that when the last leaf from the ivy vine falls, she will also die. She was very hopeless. And one day there was huge thunder, rain and wind in the village. And on the next morning, this Johnsy asked Sue to raise the curtain. Do you know for that what? Yes, to check whether there are any leaves remaining on the tree. Our hopeless Johnsy is expecting that there will not be any leaves anymore. Okay, now are you interested? Will there be any leaves? Let's check it, and before that you have an activity. That is, read silently the whole paragraphs. I'll share my screen and let's read it silently and come back.
Kids, shall we read it again? Silently. Okay, I'll share my screen and read it carefully. Okay, I'll make it in the slideshow mode. Okay, read it. Shall I change it? Okay. Now the last. Finished? May I stop sharing? Okay then. Okay.
Do you know what happened then? Yes, you can see it in my screen. Yes, even after that heavy rain and thunder and wind, that one leaf remained on the ivy vine. Isn't it? Yes, that is a symbol of hope. Now, are you interested to know how this leaf changed our Jonesy's life? How this leaf instilled hope in our Jonesy's life? Yeah, I know you are interested to know that. Before that, tell me the elements of a short story. I write it in the board. Yes, the first one is plot. The second is character. The third is setting. Very good. Fourth one is conflict. Very good. Now the last one is theme. Yes. Very good. These are the 5 elements of a short story. You have the activity. Okay.
Now kids, shall we analyze these 5 elements in our short story? That is the last leaf. Okay. I have an activity for you. I hope you can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. Our task is to place the elements in the right category. Okay. Let's start from characters. Okay. In a short story, who are the characters? The characters are the main people who are involved in the story, isn't it? It is a person who takes part in the action of the story. It can be animals, it can be people, isn't it? Then who are the characters in our short story? Yes, Sue, Joanna, Pneumonia, Leaf. All these are the main characters in our story. So shall I mask this with this one? Yes, right answer. Now, shall we move on to the setting? Setting means where and when. Setting is the place where the story happens, isn't it? Now, which is the setting of our story? Yeah, our story is set in very good Greenwich Village, and a time, a month is mentioned. Yeah, it is the November. It is in the month of November. And shall I match it with this one? Yeah, our answer is right. Now, plot. Plot implies what is happening in the story, isn't it? Plot represents what happens in the story. What all are the events that is happened in the story, or it is the character actions, how characters are performing in the story. Now, plot, what is the plot? Yeah, it is what happens in the life of two young artists, isn't it? The whole story revolves around the life of two artists. Who were they? Who were the characters? Yeah, Sue and Joanna, isn't it? Now the plot is what happens. And can I match it? Yeah, right answer. Now, theme. What is the theme? The central idea. From the beginning itself, we were talking about that. The central idea that is being discussed. Yeah, it is hope, isn't it? The theme, it means the central idea. Now, the last element, that is conflict. Conflict represents what? Yes, conflict represents a struggle that the main character is going through, isn't it? He may be in struggle with another character. He might be in conflict with some illness, maybe some societal issues, isn't it? Now, in this case, our main character, who, yeah, our Jonesy is in struggle with, yes, an illness. What is that? Pneumonia. So the conflict is Sue is tested positive for pneumonia, isn't it? Yes, great. We have corrected all the answers. Clear? Shall I stop sharing? Okay.
How was the activity? You enjoyed? Yes. Who were the main characters? Yes, Sue, Joanna, the last leaf, and pneumonia. Spell pneumonia. Yes, Pneumonia. But where is the P? We are not pronouncing him, right? Yes, in the pneumonia, there is a P, but we are not pronouncing him. There is a silent P in the spelling, but we are not actually pronouncing him. There are many words in English with a silent letter in it. Okay, I'll show you some example. Is it guard or just guard? Yes, it is guard with a silent R. Okay, now the next word is, how will you read this? Yes, it is often, not often. This T is silent here. Now, are you listening to the class or are you just listening? Yes, you are listening, right? In this spelling, though there is a T in the spelling, in the pronunciation there is only listen. Okay, the next time when you come across such a word, remember about these silent letters in it. Okay. While discussing about pneumonia, did you forget our story? No, I know you won't, but it's time for another activity. Let's check our memory and come back. Okay.
I'll share my screen, and in the PPT, I have placed some sentences from our story in a jumbled manner, and you have to arrange it in the correct order. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute and do it. Did you finish? Yes, very good. Now let's move on to the answers. Yeah, the first sentence is the Greenwich Village. Yes, read it. Yeah, it attracted so many artists. The second is Stu and Joanna had their studio at the top of an old three-story brick house. Very good. The third sentence is, yeah, scarcely moving. And the fourth one is, well, she was counting backwards, isn't it? Yes. The next is, yes, pull up the curtain so as to see the leaf, whether that leaf is there. Yeah, the last sentence is, yeah, the last leaf was still hanging on the vine. Very good, very good. Now, dear children, could you find a progression of thoughts from the beginning till the end? Isn't it? This story was in a progression, right? There was a beginning, there was a middle, and there is an ending to the story, isn't it? Now, are you able to understand the structure of a story? Yeah, it has a beginning, it has a middle, and it will have an ending as well. Isn't it? Now that I hope you have got an understanding about the elements of the story and also the progression, how the story, the structure of the story. Okay.
Now kids, we have seen that last leaf surviving all the tests of nature, isn't it? It is surviving that heavy rain, wind and thunder and is still remaining on the tree, isn't it? Now I have a picture for you. Who is this? Who is this? Yes, it is Avani Leghara. Who is she? Yes, she has won the gold medal in shooting at the Tokyo Paralympics. Yes, very good. Do you know her story, kids? Her lower body was paralyzed in a car accident in the year 2012. But she was never ready to give up on her dreams. She fought for it. Even when all other leaves of her tree of life shed, she believed in the power of this last leaf. That is her willpower. And that has brought her here. Let me close the lesson with a question. Dear kids, whom do you want to be? Think and remember, every cloud has a silver lining. Let's continue in the next class. Take care. Thank you.